all you Splinterheads, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate everybody's time spent on my channel. We have had a few more people subscribe, and we're getting closer to that 100 number. While in the big picture of things, it's not a lot to me. I mean, that's a lot of people that would like to have said basically that they like to listen to what I talk about. And what is that? Well, I like to talk about online gaming, specifically mostly these days about Splinterlands and Splinterforge. But I do play several other blockchain games and other regular online games as well too that I may get to in the future. But I have a few plans at the 100 mark. Whenever the 100th subscriber joins, I plan to add a camera to my setup, so you can see my talking head in the corner, whatnot. Just thought it was a move forward, and that kind of paves the way for me to be also starting to do live streams, which I'm thinking about starting to have my Saturday morning stand-up as a live stream. Please comment if you would like to partake. I mean, what I'm talking about is Saturday mornings, U.S. Eastern Time, probably 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. If you're interested, go ahead and leave a comment below. Otherwise, my intent is just basically to cover the weekly happenings of Splinterlands, go over everything, and what I've been doing in Splinterlands and Splinterforge on those. And I plan to start them off at maybe 30 minutes. So anyway, with that said, we have a lot of things to cover in this episode, and hopefully it won't get too long. But several things that have been happening in Splinterlands, and then at the end I will go over as well, what I've been doing this week in Splinterlands and Splinterforge. The big change, one of the big changes announced at the town hall this week had to do with rentals. And I know that there are a lot of people that this kind of talk turns off to, so you can skip forward if you wish. But this is a big thing because over the last year and a half, I've been renting out cards, and I went through a various process. At the very beginning, I rented out my whole deck. And then I kind of came back, and now I've got a secondary account where I have my rentals on, and it's very stripped down because at the whenever I threw all my cards up there, I learned very quickly that it didn't really pay as far as your ECR and stuff like that, and what you had to have staked to be able to put all those cards on the market. Sorry, not ECR. RC, resource credits. So the more cards that you stake, the more resource credits you have to have, right? So I learned quickly that throwing all those cards up and cycling through them and updating them on, every few hours or something like that costs a lot of resource credits. So I really stripped back, and I do have a fair amount staked to get more resource credits, but I wanted to strip it back. So over the last 6 months, I've got a very select list of cards, mostly like summoners and gold cards that are for rent, really. But with that said, let's jump into what the news is. I've got a lot of tabs open because there's a lot of stuff announced this week. So here's the announcement, and I'll leave all these links, but you can find all these things that I'm going to be talking about on Peak D on the main Splinterlands channel. So let's start. So basically, they're going to start charging a fee. And the fee is going to be 1 DEC or 1 credit per listing or per update. Okay. So if you're a renter and you use a bot like I do, I use Splinter Rents, which, by the way, has announced that they will be going down. And I kind of expected the different rental services to have to go down for some time period. I don't know. They announced, it's a side project for the people that do this. So it's like their second, it's not their day job, right? So Splinterlands has ran fine for me. My brother introduced me to it, I don't know, 6 months back, maybe. And it's been running fine for me ever since I started using it. Maybe 8 months. I don't know. I didn't keep track. And it worked on a process of listing what you had on the account. And you could block things off if you wanted to. And you could set how often you wanted to update and such. And then they would just charge you a small percentage, right? And then you just manually paid the percentage once a week. If you've been with me for a while, you remember I used to pay on my Friday videos. I used to go ahead and go in and pay my fee. Lately, it's been very small because, as you know, the rental market has went in the toilet, basically. So back to the announcement. So there's going to be a 1 DEC or credit fee for each listing and for each update. So what that means to me overall is, and this is going to be maybe a separate video, maybe I might do it off video because it might be just too boring, but I'm going to have to go through my rentals and I'm going to have to pare them back. And basically, first of all, the bot's going to be offline. So I'm not going to be able to use Splinterheads. So I'm going to have to manually do this for the time being. There is a service on Peak Monsters that lets you rent, and you get a small amount as far as the auto updates and such. And I haven't looked into them, so clarify if you know what I'm talking about in the comments of this video. But you basically, Peak Monsters wants you to go ahead and get their premium membership and be able to do auto updates and such like that. But they do give you a small amount for free. But either way, you're going to be able to update your rentals a lot fewer times. I mean, there's going to be at least 24 hours in there between updates. Okay. Now, the argument's going to be different depending upon the cards. So if you're renting out a llama and you're getting, whatever, 60, 100, 150 DEC, whatever they're going for. I don't even know what they're going for. If you're renting out a high-end card and it's getting over 100 DEC a day or something or other, then this one DEC is not going to make a difference to you. The main portion of what we're looking at is the low rental cards, which is where most of the market is, right? All the sub 1 DEC rental cards, they're going to be gone. I mean, you've got to either take them off or just as basic business rules apply, basic marketing, basic business says that you pass along the charges to the customer. So that 1 DEC card that you've been renting a day is now 2 DECs, and you can extrapolate from there, right? So another part of this will be that they will start, you used to be able to throw up a rental and it would just stay up there. And don't listen to me. I mean, listen to me, but don't get me wrong. I believe this is a good change because from an infrastructure point of view, this will clean up a lot of their back end, and it's aimed at that. It's aimed at reducing costs on the server side, right? So they're going to start taking down rentals. If they've been up for 30 days and they haven't rented out, it gets automatically taken off, right? And then from there, you would have to choose whether you wanted to put it back up or not. And that's the listing expiration. And then they go in and they give a few little details if you're looking at the coding. So that's the basics of that. If you're running Splinterheads, you got to find an alternative or start doing it manually, which is I try not to do things manually because the more things you do manually, the more the time it takes up. So, okay, that's enough on that. The next thing on the list is the season reset changes. Well, the first note on this, I'll get into the season reset changes. And a lot of other YouTubers have already covered this, but basically there's going to be a mana cap change depending upon what league you play in. And novice and bronze is going to be 40, silver it's going to be 50, gold, diamond, and champ it's going to be 60. Now, I don't think that doesn't mean that you won't encounter a 99 mana match. It's just the percentage chance of getting a 99 mana match is going to go down, okay, from 4% to 2%. Okay, so still possible to see a 99 mana match in any of the leagues. It's just going to be less likely. Okay, so yeah, and I've frankly never really come close to filling out a 90. Even with all these new cards with the higher mana cost, I don't know, probably the highest mana hand I've ever played is maybe 60. I don't know, something like that, but I've never come close to 99. Yeah, either way, it's fun once in a while to throw those big boys out there, see what they can do. Okay, so with that said, the league rating reset changes. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, what this means is you're gonna drop back a lot less, and you're not going to drop out of your rank, out of your league, most likely. So, and this has several reasons, but if you're fighting in silver 1 and the season resets, you're not going to have to fight your way back out of bronze. And same way with gold and diamond and champion. So we can just take an example. Let's look at silver here. And the minimum rating for silver 1, 1600, max rating 1899. And the old reset would be 900. New reset would be 1,000. Okay, so if we look at 1,000, the minimum rating would be silver 3. So if you were in silver 1 at the end of the season, your reset would be to silver 3. Okay, gold 1, 1600. Now I do see. Okay, so that's the old reset was 1600. The new reset is 1900. So once again, you'll see that if you finished in gold 1, you'll reset to gold 3. Diamond 2800, 2800. So this all lines up, right? I believe. Let me look at champion 37, 37. Okay, so basically, if you end the season in one of the bronze, silver, gold, or champion 1, you will reset to 3. Now let's look at 2. So if I finished in silver 2, that would reset to 750. Now 750 does dip back down into bronze 1, however, only by 50. No, that's not right. So it resets to 750. And to hit silver 3, it's 1,000. So if you finished in a number 2, like bronze, silver, gold, or diamond, or champion 2, there would be a little bit of work, and you would have to fight your way back up a little bit. But I think what this prevents is people who are playing maxed out, say, in one of the level 1 leagues, and they don't progress to the next league on purpose. So for instance, I usually play diamond 3 or diamond 2. Now if I chose, I could limit myself to gold 1 and get more chests. Now as a sub note, I have tried that, and even though I got more chests, I didn't feel that the overall rewards were as good as fewer diamond chests. But that's a side note. Either way, it would prevent me, a maxed out, gold player, from dipping back down into silver if you finish the league in the number 1 slot. So I think you can get that. I think it's overall a good change. I believe there's no reset also for novice. So if you're a new player, you just need to get 10 wins and move on to bronze, and then you're in the big fish pool, right? But if you finish, say it's your first week playing and you're having a hard time getting some wins, you're not going to reset. So they also mentioned that along those lines, that since bronze will not reset into novice, they're going to institute some low-end bots to play hands against new players with the AI turned down, so it's easier to beat them. So you can kind of learn some of the basics of the game. And this goes through basically what I just talked about. Once again, I'll leave the links in the show notes for you to go over if you wish. Next thing on my list is the new card. So here's Lily Shieldpaw. Had to get some coffee. Saturday morning, been talking a lot. So this card has been discussed on other channels ad nauseum this week. There's a lot of opinions each way. Okay, some people are unhappy because this is not a big kind of forward attacking kind of summoner. Some people were expecting like the next llama or something, the next whatever. They didn't get that. What they got was a very defensive healing type summoner. Okay, as you can see, the summoner has +1 health, healing to the back line, and the main power there is going to be camouflage. And that is, if nothing else, it's going to be very interesting, right? Getting and I'm not the most strategic guy to talk about this, and I don't have a lot of the older cards that this may be synergistic with, but nothing else, this will be interesting to figure out how that works. And the main thing that I can see would be the fact that with all of your cards having camouflage, you could really line up your cards and dictate which gets hit first, okay? And not have to worry about them picking off your back line quickly, you know? So with that said, I will say that the Achilles heel of this summoner will be Scattershot. So what that tells me is if you see somebody playing Lily Shieldpaw a lot, you're going to have to go to your Scattershot. Because Scattershot, as they mentioned down here, will hit camouflage, right? And that's a change they're making. But that's going to be like the reply to a bunch of camouflage is going to be Scattershot. So look over your Scattershot cards and get ready for it. And they also mentioned that the taunt ability will take precedence over camouflage. Even though it might have the ability to be camouflage, a character with both abilities chooses to be out there talking trash. So if you throw a taunt card out, it's going to disregard the camouflage and it's going to taunt. But that's the reason why you throw a taunt card out there, right? So, and they mentioned that the it's coming up. It's the last one. So get ready for it. Let's go over here and look at where we stand. And we are 98.06% complete with sales and burning. So it's almost there, and they've listed before that it'll be here before the end of March. So I don't have an exact date on that, but and I don't know. She looks cute. Excuse me. We'll see. My brother's already said that he's going to jump on this and grab a few. Probably get it. Looks tempting. And it's one of those things, like everything, when it first drops, the price is going to spike. So if you're looking to make a little money, you probably want to sell if you get a drop. But usually these cards spike at the beginning and then they kind of level out. And a lot of these cards have been leveling out to, like the 20-ish range, $20 range. So that's not a forecast, and as always, none of this is advice as far as investment goes, but I usually try to talk from the play side. If nothing else, this looks interesting, and we'll just have to see as it comes and what it can be paired with for good effect. And the last real thing I wanted to cover before getting into my weekly events, and I'll keep it short since this video is going on a little bit, but I just had a lot of things to cover. There is a proposal up, and it was just thrown up yesterday or the day before. And this goes into money, right? And I still don't know how I feel about this. It's plainly put there, and it seems logical. I mean, it seems logical. Basically, the Treasury holds BUSD. Okay, a little bit over 100,000 BUSD, and there's some regulatory events that came up lately that stopped the minting of new BUSD. So I advise everyone to go ahead and read through this before you vote, so you know exactly what you're voting for, voting against. I have not decided yet. I've read through it a couple times. I need to read through it again. As with anything to do with money and choices, always do your due diligence. But we can look at where it's standing currently and go to the proposals tab. And it's looking so far, most people don't like it. 69% against. So read through it, vote your mind. Okay. So with that said, let's go and look at what I've been doing this week. Mostly, I've been playing Splinterforge. We won't get too much into that, but I did. Let's go over here to Splinterforge. This week, I was able to upgrade to Epic or Elite Agile boots, which gave me an extra speed. I did originally equip my character with epic items, but after looking at the numbers, I decided to just go ahead and go to legendary. Okay. Is it expensive? Yes, it is. Mostly speaking about the boots. And I know when the market releases, I'll probably have paid too much for them. But the name of the game in Splinterforge is really speed. Get as much speed as you can. Of course, you want to up the other stats as you can, and you can find deals, but it's all about speed. So I ended up paying 40. I think I ended up paying 40K for these boots. Either way, I upgraded those this week That was the main purchase. I've sold off some stuff. I've combined a few things. I did combine, do some reforging, and I ended up with an Elite Hardy Tome for my mage. No, the reforge ended up with the quiver. So those are my main moves in Splinterforge this week. I've been doing pretty well. I've been fighting to stay around that 70 to 80 bracket. I still need to make a little bit more movement to be able to break 70. But it seems like these seasons I do well up until that boss hits about 25. Because I think then at that point people start piling in and using a bunch of potions. But I'm not sure what happens because I end up staying in the 50s somewhere and I'm doing well. 25% on the boss hits, and then all of a sudden I start plummeting. So you may have realized a similar with your play. But anyway, I'm working on it. I don't have much Forgium now, but I'm working on it. This last boss, for some reason, I'm playing in gold, by the way. For some reason, this last boss, I could do nothing against. Nothing I threw at this last... Well, it was a chicken last time, but it's now Talgris. Nothing I threw at that boss could do anything. So either way, I'm back to doing okay. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go back to Peak Monsters and go to my Explorer. So the main movements I've made on this account, let's just work backwards. So I bought some more Silver Shield Knights. I bought enough to level from level 4 to 5. This is one of the cards I've been using in Splinterforge, and that's the reason. Let's go back. So I did get a pack on my secondary play account that's playing in Silver 2. We can visit that at the end of the season, so I can give you an update on how that new account's doing. But I got a pack and we'll open it at the end of this video, but I transferred it to my main account since I didn't really have any potions on that account. Okay, these are combines. The major thing I got this week was enough of this new summoner to make level 2. I did get some more of Wily Coyote, and these were the updates or my rewards from yesterday, and that's what I just discussed. Lob Lowland, I now have him at level 2. Card rentals, I won't go through all these card rentals, but I basically rented a bunch of stuff, trying whatever I could. See, I even rented a llama, trying to hit that last boss, and I was just ineffective. So I won't go over what I did because it was all ineffective. One card I also bought more of was the Merdali Healer, or Guardian. I know it's rare. Yes, I know I have that. And I know I have my brawls to do. Merdali Guardian. One thing, I was using this as well, and I do believe this is a good solid card both ways in Splinterlands as well as Splinterforge. But what you'll notice here is I went from 4 to 5, and at 5 this also picks up repair. There's no attack on it, but it's a good tank heal and repair, and I think that once you start upgrading it, you're probably better off just going straight to 5 if you can find a deal on it. And that's that purchase. Here's some more rented cards, more combines. I had opened up some other packs, and I'm trying to keep all of my soulbound cards leveled up. I'm just combining them all until they hit max level, and then I'll just keep the extras. So we can go over that in another video, but that's all these combines. Let's see, rewards claimed 2 days ago. Still getting a decent amount of cards, not as much as when these soulbound cards first released. So they've scaled back on the cards for sure. As you can see, a few here, a few there. Ferox Defender. These are all just combines from the rewards. This is a card I leveled at the beginning of the week. I believe that was for my secondary account because it needed one of those. So I leveled it up to 3 or 4. And then you can see the transfers to my secondary play account. More cards for that secondary play account. And it'll be interesting looking at it. That's the major things that have went on my accounts lately this week. At the end of the season, I plan on looking at both of my accounts, and the other account, the secondary one, was one I had started up fresh. I put enough cards in it to barely get it up to Silver 2, and it's been playing along, and it could actually, Archmage has been playing it along, and it could actually go into Silver 1. I just haven't put the cards into it to get the points to get it up there. But I'd like to review on video, what I did and how it's doing and what it's gotten in that first season time period, just to give everybody an idea of what you can do. Okay, let's go back here. I think we can wrap it up. I'm looking forward to that 100th subscriber so we can do some new things. I also have started a Discord kind of in conjunction with, starting up live streaming, because I'll need one to go ahead and take questions and everything. And I intend it to be open whenever, and people can throw questions in there. And it would be nice to build up a little bit of a community where people have questions or want to comment. They can throw it up on Discord, and everybody can help them out however, So with that said, let's go ahead. I do believe I have that pack that I can open. Yeah, I have one pack. And along the packs lines, I was discussing this with my brother. I think that, well, let's go ahead and open this. Got one rare standard pack. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. What I was going to say is what I excuse me, what I noticed when at the end of Untamed was that as soon as Untamed sold out, Dice sold out very quickly. Now I do realize that there's exponentially more of Rift Watchers packs available than what the Dice was. I do realize that. But, and I'm not here trying to throw FOMO or anything, but I would consider, if you had planned on buying more Rift Watchers packs, to think about doing it relatively soon. Because I think what you'll see is that as soon as Chaos Legion packs are sold out, Rift Watchers packs will be obviously the only packs available, so they'll start selling faster. Now, there's some other variables in that, comparing it to Dice and everything. It was harder to get those packs because you had to jump through the hoops Rift Watchers packs are, well, Chaos Legion packs are very easy to get because a new player can come in and just buy them with tokens or credits, right? Rift Watchers packs are going to be a little bit harder to buy because first you have to buy SBS and you have to buy vouchers to get the packs, right? So, but just something to look at. Oh, I wanted to say I also bought one more tower defense pack this week. Why? I don't know. Looking forward to the game, I guess. I don't necessarily like the artwork. I was hoping it would be a little bit different style. Not, I guess this is a style I don't really like, but I do like tower defense games. Anyway, I bought an extra pack for what it's worth. I have 6 total packs, so it's not like I'm a major investor. But looking forward to seeing what it looks like. So with that said, I've covered a lot of things. Thanks if you've stuck with me this long. I appreciate it. Please give me a like if you appreciated this content, and think about subscribing. With that, I will see you on the flip side.